And we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from around the world. Thank you for choosing to watch BaylorIC TV boxing channel. This is unfortunately for you all tonight, as a catch-up show. So really, tonight's for me to fill in the gaps on what happened over the weekend up to today, and then obviously we have our Wednesday night show, which I can fill you in about afterwards. So start by saying thank you all very much for deciding to tune in to watch this show. I've got a lot of shout outs to do first and foremost, but if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Right, let's kick on. Let's just see who's quick. The people who are in the room very quickly. Wayne Lovett, Barry Venison, Modern Broadcast, Yannick, John DeWale are in the room at the moment, and I'm sure that there'll be others that will join us. So good evening to you all. I will address Klitschko, Fury, Klitschko, Joshua later on, but the more pressing matters at the moment for myself, regardless of who fights who, Joshua fights Klitschko, Klitschko fights Brown, numero uno, the number one guy in the world, is currently not boxing. So for me, the man that beat the man that beat the man, that's how it works for me, and probably works for a lot of people that way. So the circus, the merry-go-round, and don't be surprised if David Haye gets himself in there somehow or the other. He's such an opportunist. So anyway, I don't really talk too much about that at the moment. I've got a lot of people to say thank you to. So without further ado, I'm sure those of you who've been watching this channel will have seen the coverage we've had of this weekend's or Saturday's boxing. We've had from DoveBox Promotions. We're able to capture some coverage, and also apart from the coverage, I did some commentary on one of the fights as well. So if you've managed to see any of that, then you'll know what I'm talking about, and I hope that you have enjoyed it. Okay, we'll start first. Shout out to Ashley Bailey Demetz. I hope I've said your name right, Ashley. Shout out to you. Trained by Richard Williams. Had a good win over Blackwell over the weekend. Shout out to you. Good win for you. Moving on, Chesney Hawkins had his first, his pro debut. I managed to watch him box, and his dad was there afterwards. Did an interview with him and his dad. Really great to see father and son together supporting one another. And his dad explained to me how he really thought was very important. His dad trained him as an amateur. Very nice for him to say, you know what, I was his amateur coach, but now he's turning over as a pro. It's really important that I hand him over to a pro trainer. Alex Wilkins or Wilkies, his name is Wilkes, Alex Wilkes. Shout out to Alec tonight, doing a fantastic job with the fighters, along with Chesney. Also Richie Gray had a good win. He was boxing light middle. He said he boxed a guy who was more like a super middle. Now, I didn't actually get to see his fight. Got caught in between fights. He's from Essex, got a great personality, and he just basically set himself up as saying he's a come-forward fighter. Didn't get any coverage of him, which is a shame. But definitely got to. He said to me, "I didn't get paid to throw a jab." That's what he told me by his. That's his almost like his catchphrase. He has great support. If you saw the interview, he has great support. His mum, his friends were there, so we got some footage of that, and you see the interview. And Lee, sponsor, shout out to Lee as well. Without guys like you, Lee, who do sponsorship and sponsor fighters, it's so important. So shout out to Lee as well, doing that and backing the fighter. We appreciate that. Dominic Akinlade, good friend Dominic Akinlade, was on the bill as well, defending his Southern Area title. I was noticed he had to face Adam Machard. So it was a good performance by him. Got dropped in the first round, then came back and knocked Machad out in second. Good fight, good win. So shout out to Dominic Akinlade. Ian Lewson was in the house, so we managed to get a few words with Ian. He's clearly not happy with Dillian White, and looks like he wants to get himself back in the picture. So shout out to Ian Lewson for that. Managed to meet a nice group. Pep Talk UK. Shout out to Pep Talk UK. And for those people in Pep Talk UK, Angie, Frankie, Shaz, and Pascal. Great bunch of guys and girls. Angie, of course. And yeah, really nice. Realised all the time talking to me. It was Shaz that was talking to me. Shaz was on Twitter. So it was great talking to him. Mind me, I've got a terrible cold at the moment. So it was great to meet them. Check them out. Pep Talk UK do some great stuff over YouTube. So check them out. EJ Boxing Live was in the house. Shout out to EJ Boxing Live. Isaac Chamberlain, bumped into him. Great win by him to win the Commonwealth title. I'm sure it's a Commonwealth title he won. Injuring his shoulder and putting it back in. Commiserations to AJ Carter, the heavyweight, making his comeback. Unfortunately, the fight on the night, due to reasons I can't reveal, or I'm not in a position to reveal, but he'll be back soon. I believe he'll be fighting me in December or January on a DoveBox promotion card. Shout out to Tommy Dove. Great night of boxing, Tommy. Fantastic. Value for money for those who paid. And yeah, great boxing. So shout out. And for AJ, chin down, head up, stay focused, bigger, better, stronger, smarter. So look forward to seeing you again in fighting form. So I think I've done my shout outs there. Giving everyone a little shout out, which needed to be done. And shout out to Pekka Decker. Let's see who else. Damien McGirt, shout out to him as well. Stacey Ellis. Yo, LOL TV, shout out to him. Red Sox, our Red Sox fans, nice to see you in the room. Right, now, moving on to things. People asking me my opinion on two fights. Tony Bellew. Hold on a second. Give me a second. I gotta blow my nose. This is ridiculous. Give me a second. Hold on a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna go and blow my nose. I'll be straight back. I'll be back. Right. Sorry about that. Just annoying my nose all the time. So here we are. Do you have a cold? Yes, I do. And I do have a cold. Right, where am I? Yeah, I'm gonna address this Klitschko thing in a moment, but let me just talk about what's happened over the weekend and my thoughts. Derry Mathews versus Luke Campbell. For me, good performance for Luke Campbell. Nice putting in nice body shots, hurting Derry Mathews, fighting a guy who is a puncher, a relatively good puncher at a certain level. And shout out to Luke Campbell and Derry Mathews putting a good fight. I think it's fights like these where you're having to struggle and go through tests and you know, come through a struggle. These are the fights that make it good learning fights, foundational fights that make you ready for a world title shot when they come. You look at Tony Bellew, look at Tyson Fury, two fighters in particular there. You know, being down, get up, go on to win fights. You've seen Luke Campbell do it as well. Tough fights, difficult fights. You know, fights where, you know, you're not guaranteed to win, or fights where the other guy has a chance of winning. There's a possibility, which is more than, you know, a 90-10 fight, a 60-40 fight, a 50-50 fight. Those are the sort of fights that are going to help you prepare for world title fights. Whilst Derry Mathews is not world class It takes a certain class to beat Derry Mathews. And I think Luke Campbell did that very well. So shout out to Luke Campbell, a fighter that I've got a lot of time for, and I like a lot. Along with Liam Walsh, again, I personally think Liam Walsh has world-class potential. I really do. I've been saying it for so long. I'd like to see him get a move on. Same with Mitchell Smith. I'd like to see him get a move on with his career as well. So I've got that out of the way. Those people, there'll be detractors out there and will say that Luke Campbell, he's not good enough. He got knocked down by bums, blah, 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 blah. I think for me, Luke Campbell's put on a good performance. So shout out to Luke Campbell. It's not easy, you know, but he's making the adjustments. Again, I don't like his stance being so wide apart. Of course, it's difficult for you to shift out of the way of punches. But I do like the fact that he's still doing the business, which is good. Does Rubio and him work? Don't know yet. Let's see him in a couple more fights. Okay, the big one. Tony Bellew. He's always calling people mouthpieces, but he's got a bit of a mouthpiece himself. Bellew versus Flores. What can I tell you about that fight? Didn't look in the greatest shape, DJ Flores. Did a lot of talking over Twitter. Hyped the fight. Got the fight. And then, first of all, credit to Tony Bellew for defending his title and beating BJ Flores. Let's get that out of the way first. I think it's important that we get that out of the way. Okay. Then the next thing we need to get out of the way is BJ Flores. He took his lumps. I don't know what he was doing in that second round when he got caught with a body shot or he thought it was a low blow. Protect yourself at all times. This is a guy who's an analyst for what? NBC. He's an analyst, and the box analyst. He doesn't know how to keep his hands up. When he's don't understand BJ Flores, doesn't make any sense. He's a boxing analyst, so fair enough. He came out, threw some good shots at Tony Bellew. I think he buzzed Bellew once or twice in that fight. Tony Bellew did well. As soon as he got BJ hurt, he tried to get him out there. That was nice. Things that I was concerned about Tony Bellew, first and foremost. You're talking about fighting David Haye. Okay. Now, the last time he fought a puncher, a real puncher, real world-class puncher, was Adonis Stevenson. And we all know how that ended. Now, I don't know about you, but I would say David Haye is a bigger puncher than Adonis Stevenson. Just look at what he did against Bellew in that last round. I'm not sure if Adonis would do that. There's a problem, though. Tony Bellew's got major problems if he's even considering fighting David Haye. Problem number one. I think under Shane McGuigan, and this is just a hunch, I've got no evidence of it, but I think David Haye may be a better fighter today under Shane McGuigan. But people say, whoa, 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 hold on a second, Ingram. Hold on a second, Ingram. He ain't fought nobody. Okay, I'm getting there. Hold on a second. I think under the training under Shane McGuigan, I think David Haye's going to be a more rounded fighter. That's what I think. I think he'll become a more rounded fighter. Even at 35, yes, I do. I think that Haye, the way Haye's training looks different to what he was doing at the booth. I think Haye before was just being a sharpshooter in and out. At 35 years old, he's going to have to adapt his style. That bouncing around the ring, jumping in and out, might not quite work at 35 years old. Remember, David Haye's 35 now. He's not 30. He's not 28. And David Haye, Father Time can't catch up. It can catch up. Even David the Haymaker Haye. No, he's not been in grueling fights. Agreed. He's well managed. But that still doesn't mean Father Time can't catch up with you. And doesn't mean what you do at 15 and 20, you're trying to do it now, or 20 and 25, you're trying to do it at 35, near and 40. You have to adjust your body. So you have to make changes. Now, even with that being said, Bellew talks about dimensions and height. Okay, that's great, Tony, and you're a great salesman. Listen to me before anybody gets on my back. I love Tony Bellew. Okay, I love him. I think he's a very good fighter. I think he's a very good boxer. Okay, I think he's got a decent jab, puts his punch together well. Never been a fan of his right hand, which always looks sloppy. That sloppy right hand came back again in the fight against Flores. Sloppy winging overhand rights that keep missing. Again, Tony Bellew walking onto right hands and getting caught with right hands all the time. Now, this is BJ Flores we're talking about. If BJ Flores is able to land right hands flush on your head over and over again, BJ Flores' footwork isn't fantastic, and you supposedly got better footwork than BJ Flores. Okay, you were still getting caught with the right hand over, and at no point in time did I see you block a right hand, try to shoot with a left hook. At no point in time did I see side slip a right hand. At no point in time did I see any other thing from Tony Bellew. He was walking straight forward and getting caught with the right hand over and over and over again. You see, and when you're at world level, world elite level, and you do that against David Haye, you're sitting target. I mean, you are perfect for David Haye. You come forward, you throw your lazy right hand, David will counter. And even at 35, you can't make those sort of mistakes against David Haye. David Haye just thinking, okay. So if BJ's catching them right hands over and over and over again, will take one or two for me to put you on your ass. You see, now with Adonis Stevenson, he got up. With the guy he won the world title against, he got up. When David Haye hits him, he's not getting up. This fight could be over within 3 rounds, simply because I just don't think, first of all, I don't think Tony Bellew's going to be able to catch David Haye. I think David's going to still move too quick for him. But David Haye's got better footwork, better punching power, better ring generalship, fought better caliber opponents. The only thing you'd ask yourself a question of David Haye is, how much is left? Does he fancy a tough fight anymore? That's the only thing that Bellew can count on. Does Haye have it in him to go for the distance? Can he do 12 hard rounds? Bellew's talking about getting past the first 2 rounds. Well, to be honest, I wouldn't put money on Bellew getting out of 2 rounds with Haye, with that sort of punch power. Because as soon as Haye lands and nails him, the fight could be over. I'm just being honest. And Tony Bellew, the way he fights, the heart on his sleeve and comes rushing in, you can't make the mistakes against Haye. One mistake against Haye, and you're getting put over by Donnie Stevenson. You're getting put over by this guy you fought the other day, getting knocked over by Oval McKenzie. It doesn't bode well against David Haye. Sorry. Those are my thoughts. It'll be exciting. The build-up will be great. Tony will be going off, yep, and don't expect David Haye to get involved in those exchanges. Don't expect to see that from David Haye. You're like, from Tony. Remember, Tyson Fury was up on David, and David didn't give us much entertainment. He just kind of sat back and said, "All right, fine." The last time you heard David Haye really piping up was with Derek Chisora. With Tony Bellew, I don't know. You know, they both know it's a good money. They know it's a good money, makes good money. I don't know how much of that talk is serious or it's fight talk for hype. But Tony Bellew said years ago that, I'm sure he put in an article somewhere, don't put me and David Haye in the same breath. He said that David Haye was the best cruiserweight in the last decade. Well, that's arguable. You've got Steve Cunningham that was there. You've got Johnny Nelson. And, of course, you've got now Alexander Usyk. So, those are my thoughts on Bellew versus Haye and Bellew versus Flores. Don't know, but it doesn't look good for Tony Bellew. Money-wise, it's great, but I don't see Haye losing that fight. Okay. Okay, let's see what people are saying in the room. Oh, bless me. Cold. Right. Thank you, our Red Sox fans. I will try and get better as soon as possible. Our Bell, Haye is bang out of order. Coogan, pay-per-view for Toblerone belt. Bellew's cruiser. Derry Mathews is a tough guy, says Stacey Ellis. Luke did well, indeed. A clown at Ingram's door. Wasn't a clown. I just went to blow my nose. Public, don't be conned into thinking Bellew versus Haye's 50-50 fight. It certainly isn't. Yo, LOL TV says, Wayne, it's not 99-1. Yo, LTV says, Bellew will be out within 2 rounds max. Wayne Lover says, what did Adonis Stevenson do to Bellew at light heavyweight? That's my point. And David Haye hits much harder than Adonis Stevenson. Every time I watch Campbell, I think, where's Joe Nevin? Should be real. Shame so far. Yo, L, kill him. Stacey Ellis says, thing with Haye is if you get into his head, he stands back, he's reluctant. Well, I don't think he'd be reluctant. It's going to be Christmas come early for David if he fights Bellew. Stacey Ellis says could go 4 rounds. Yo says, Stacey, he's too quick and powerful. I agree that. Stacey Ellis says, he is, but how many times have we seen him back out? He won't back out against Bellew, no way. Yo, Bellew contradicts himself. He says, hey, he's all about the money. Then says, I want a big money fight now. LOL. Yeah, that's true. He will do Bellew for sure. 4 rounds tops, says Stacey Ellis. Bellew should be called the Merseyside Mouth. Yeah, or mouthpiece. Good evening, Anthony Callis. He says, complete mismatch. Bellew goes the same way it ends, and Mac went inside 2 rounds. Yeah, I can see that. Definitely see that. He looked like an amateur in his last fight. Terrible finish. The guy with a padded record fell over. Yes, true. I think, yeah, he didn't look great, Tony Bellew. People thought he looked spectacular, but Sky thinks everyone looks spectacular if you're fighting if you're a matchroom fighter. I think Tony Bellew looked okay. He was getting caught with right hands over and over again and made no adjustments. I think Clown killed Ingram. No, I'm back. Be thankful sodding Frank Bruno isn't still about. He'd beat Haye and Bellew on the same night. No, me no. Haye and Bellew is money fight, and the silly public paying for it. Yeah, they will do. Eddie Hill will say it's a 50-50 fight, and you'll have Alan Smith saying another mouth-watering clash between Tony Bellew and David Haye. Will it be David Haye that wins the fight? Or will it be Tony Bellew? Younger, fitter, or David Haye, experienced, harder punching, former heavyweight champion of the world? You can see how it's going to get built up. You'll have Tony say what you've got to say. And Dave will say, all right, mate. And Tony go, blah, blah, blah. And Tony, Dave go, all right, mate. And then Tony will have to get restrained. And David will just look at him and go, all right, mate. That's what will happen. I can't see anything else happening. And how many times, actually, for all the jumping up Tony Bellew's done, have you ever seen him scuffle with anyone? You don't. He gets up and somebody restrains him. Even with the Adonis Stevenson, he got restrained. Just gets restrained. And even with the Cleverly thing, I'll take you out. When Clever said he'd take him out in the car park, they called him fucking rat. Even that day, which is still a Bellew classic, there was no rumbling in the car park. So I just don't think. I think it's a lot of. I'm not saying Tony Bellew can't have it. I'm not saying it for 1 second. I'm just saying that he's restrained all the time. So after a while, you think, okay, fair enough. It's a bit of pantomime time. I like the pantomime stuff. Where's our host? Says Wayne Lovett. He's late, LOL. Bet he's just finished his tea. Wayne Lovett says, who's to say Haye won't pull out of the fight? I wish his father would have pulled out of his mother. Wayne, you're cruel. Wayne says, who'd buy tickets and hotels to Haye's fights? Haye could pull out. Wish Haye's father would have pulled out of his mother. Otherwise, the build up to this fight would be great for that. For Bellew and Haye. Adam Scott, good evening, Adam. His last chance of pay-per-view stock will never be higher as champ after Rocky. I guess so for Tony Bellew. And even if he comes back to cruiserweight after getting spanked to heavyweight, once he calls himself the best cruiserweight in the world, he won't touch Alexander. He won't touch Alexander Usyk. That's for sure. Red Sox, thank you, Tony, for the KO BJ Flores. Hopefully, we'll never have to see BJ again. Thanks, Tony. Yeah, I hope we don't see BJ Flores anywhere near a commentating role again, ever. BJ, Bellew, Brian Picard says, Bellew's just chasing the cash. Good fight for him as long as it's at heavyweight. Get a good check. Saw whiskers, but keeps his green belt. Anthony Cullis, funny how people who give him a chance are only Sky pundits. I agree. Star Blaster, good to see you in the room. All Haye hears every time Bellew screams his nonsense is he glassed me, of course. And Marcelo Porto, good evening to Marcelo Porto. Right, so, let's get on to this Klitschko Joshua thing. Now, it's almost 2 weeks ago, I broke the news via Twitter that Klitschko was eyeing at Joshua or Lucas Brown. He was going to go for Joshua because he said Joshua was the greener, more experienced, less experienced opponent, and he went to go for Joshua. Lucas Brown was in the wings. That's what I was told. That was 2 weeks ago. And also, the fight was going to be on December the 10th. I said that last week. So now we have a situation where there's some room in the WBA and Klitschko. Now, let me put it to you this way. That's the usual hearing. And now I'm hearing, as a Dan Raphael, whatever his bloody name is, that the fight's off. Look, Klitschko has more pulling power than a lot of people are giving credit for. He's a lot of pulling power. And even if this fight is cancelled, then who's going to come in and fight at short notice now for December 10th? Let's think. October, November, December. Who's going to come in at short notice? You've Hughie Fury still. You've David Haye possibly. I don't know. The bottom line is, if Joshua fights Klitschko, a lot of people are building this Joshua Klitschko fight to be something that it's not. In my personal opinion, behind my nose. Joshua Klitschko, it's all in the feet. It's all in the footwork. For me. You can't hit what you can't see. I don't know why people put Joshua out to be some massive destroyer. Because you look at the Dominic Breazeale fight. Breazeale presenting more movement. Okay? And Dominic Breazeale's footwork is terrible. But he's still able to make Joshua miss. He wasn't able to make him pay. Now Klitschko will make him miss. Klitschko will make him pay. Klitschko will make him throw the jab short and counter over the top of the right hand. Klitschko, his footwork is able to bounce and move around. Remember all those things Klitschko can do. The leaping left hook. The experience. You know, and you've got to ask yourself the question. People say, oh, well, Klitschko's, you know, an old man, and Klitschko's this and Klitschko's that. He still has a tremendous set. Defensively skilled. Fantastic left jab to open a fight up. Big right hand, booming left hook. You forget about all those title defenses. You also forget that before Tyson went to Germany, half the nation or 3/4 of the nation didn't give Tyson a chance of beating Klitschko. It's because Tyson beats Klitschko, everyone thinks Joshua will do it. Where Tyson didn't get hit, Joshua will get hit. See? When Tyson gets hit, when Tyson would have got hit, Joshua will get hit. Because Joshua is not defensively responsible, so like Tyson is giving you footwork, he's moving, he's giving you angles. He's turning from southpaw to orthodox, he's changing look all the time. He's jabbing to body, he's jabbing to head, he's moving side to side, back and forth, lateral movement. That's what someone like Tyson's done. He's got very good footwork for a big man. Extremely good footwork for a big man. Then you've got someone like Joshua, whose footwork isn't his best asset. He's just going to be plundering forward. It's okay when you're plundering, when you're moving forward. What happens when you're backed up? What happens when you can't just shoot the right hand when you want to shoot the right hand? What happens when you shoot the right hand and you're missing? These are the things. So all these things are very important to this makeup of this fight. People say, oh well, it could just be late for, you know, too early for Joshua. I think it is, because the jump from Dominic Brazil to Vladimir Klitschko, that's a huge jump. And Klitschko's not going to get paid to fall over, that's for sure. Klitschko's too proud of man. So he'll be coming for revenge. And if you can't get Tyson Fury, the next best thing is Anthony Joshua. Klitschko knows he beats Anthony Joshua, he's right back up there again in the eyes of many. So whatever happens now will happen, whether it be Joshua or whether it be Brown versus Klitschko or Klitschko versus Joshua. To be honest, I couldn't care, to be honest. I really couldn't care less. Just fight on December the 10th. Brian Pickard says, Tyson made Klitschko look old and leaden-footed. He still moves well enough to give anyone problems. Is Joshua's IQ good enough to beat Vlad? No, I don't think it is. Frankly, I don't. I really don't. As long as Vlad's got his footwork, he's able to move. What fight are the WBA going to sanction over this fight, though? Good question. Where does David Haye fall in the mix? Remember, the WBA themselves have said, the president said, they want David Haye to be their champion again. So he said that. So if in their minds they want David Haye to be champion, the WBA can sanction a fight. Maybe David Haye versus Hughie Fury. I don't know. Michael C says, keep saying how exciting the heavyweight division is, but look how hard it is to get them in the ring to fight each other. Well, everyone's vying for position. You've got the WBO situation with Reyes and Parker. The WBA interim title that Luis Ortiz had, where they don't even drop that. You've got Brown and his situation there. You've got the WBC champion and Wilder. There's the IBL belt, the Ring magazine. Vlad should be retired for me, but I agree with you. Vlad beats AJ due to movement experience, of course. Of course. AJ's not done 12 rounds. So those are things that AJ hasn't got in his mind. That he hasn't done 12 rounds. That's another thing in his mind. He hasn't done 12 rounds. He hasn't fought anybody who's got as good a jab as Klitschko. He hasn't fought anybody who's got as good footwork as Klitschko. He hasn't fought anybody who hits as hard as Klitschko. He hasn't fought anybody who fights as accurate as Klitschko. He hasn't fought somebody who can counter punch as good as Klitschko. Anybody who can disrupt his rhythm like Klitschko. These are all the things that all matter. Sorry, my nose is bunged up, but I'm struggling on. So these are all factors that a lot of the casuals don't really take into consideration. They see the Dominic Brazil fight, they see the Martin fight, they see the Dillian White fight, and they go, oh yeah, that's it, he's going to smash him. All Joshua has over Vlad is youth. Gets beaten in every other department. Gets out jabbed. That's it. That's it, Anthony. I've said it before and I'll say it again. But, you know, Sky will pump this up. Pump it up and pump it up. That Joshua's this and Joshua's that. But I'll tell you something now. I'm going to say this just before I come to the end of this show. The Sky team need to sort their commentary team out because it's shocking. It's biased. It's terrible, terrible. They need people to know. They need people to know something about boxing, and people are going to be unbiased. Okay, people are going to be unbiased, and like, hey, you got Dave Price sticking around somewhere. You know, at this situation, at this time, anybody and everybody could. It's like a Royal Rumble at the moment. That's what it is. You never know who the hell's going to come down next out of the you know, who's going to get called in next. It's just a Royal Rumble. It's free for all. But I can assure you now, all these people that are running around wanting to get titles here, there, and everywhere, right? These piranhas, these guys would have stood up, wouldn't have wanted to fight Klitschko, and they wouldn't have wanted to fight Tyson. I'm telling you, fact. They're all coming out of the woodwork now. So Sky Sports are making a mockery of boxing. I'm telling you, they're making a mockery of boxing. Their commentators are terrible. And I don't know how people even got the respect to keep calling them experts. And nobody afterwards then tell me this man's a heavyweight champion and that man's a heavyweight champion. That man's, listen, that man's a title holder. That man holds a title. That man holds a title. That man holds a title. Joshua's a title holder. Klitschko will be a title holder. Parker wins, he'll be a title holder. They are not champions. They are title holders. Every single one of them are title holders. It's as simple as that. And as for Luis Ortiz, until he fights somebody who can punch him back with power, I don't want to hear about Luis. I don't want to hear about Luis Ortiz. Don't want to hear about him. Until he fights somebody, what the hell is he fighting, man? If he's the baddest man on the planet, what the hell is he fighting Luis Ortiz for? Huh? Why is Lewis or Malik Scott? Why is Luis Ortiz fighting Malik Scott? Huh? He's the baddest man on the planet. He's the baddest man on the planet, and he's fighting Malik Scott. Malik Scott, who got blown over around by Deontay Wilder. Malik Scott. Are you joking? I love Malik Scott, but he ain't no opponent. Until Ortiz fights somebody who can punch. I'll talk to you about Luis Ortiz. Called me he's a beast. Luis Ortiz. Ingram is a great teacher, trainer, and mentor. Thank you very much, Andre. I appreciate that. Yeah, the first thing is just get Alan Smith out of commentary. Yeah, he's got to go. He's terrible. He's terrible, Alan Smith. Absolutely terrible. Dwyer predicts that Malik Scott beats Ortiz. If Malik Scott can avoid the big bombs of Ortiz, he stands a good chance because Ortiz's stabbing is terrible too. Malik Scott is a cool guy. He's a cool guy. Simulation Stimbo. I was wondering when somebody's going to come about that. So what happened to your Secret Insider? Any news? Yes, plenty news. The Secret Insider had some family issues with his wife, but the Secret Insider, I will be calling tomorrow morning. Yes, and I'll be talking to the Secret Insider. So that's the news on that one. Hi, BaylorIC. Why are there several champions in each division? This is one reason boxing is failing. Yeah, it's a joke. And the other thing is, you know why UFC is so good? You look at the UFC, and I know a lot of people are going to crucify me for this, but watch. You got Ronda Rousey making a comeback. She's going to be fighting the current champion, who just whooped the other champion's ass. Bottom line is the best are fighting the best. The best are fighting the best. And that's what has to happen in boxing. The best, once you're in the top 10, the best should fight the best. Forget trying to make records, right? That's for the DJs. The best fight the best. Boom, boom, boom. And if you lose, you lose, but at least you're fighting the best. But don't tell me nothing about Luis Ortiz. I'm fed up ahead about Luis Ortiz. Michael C says he's fighting Malik Scott because Eddie knows how to take a dive for, because he knows he takes dive for dive. I totally agree with you there. UFC, the champs fight the best. Yeah, the best of the best. The UFC, the best fight. The best fight the best. I'm telling you. And the way boxing's going at the moment, seriously, I'll turn my eye to UFC because it's terrible. It's a joke. My main question mark over AJ's is Tank might not get past 8 rounds with an on-form Vlad. Good question, Star Blaster. So Vlad ducking Joshua because the WA title is not on the line. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Nah, I don't believe that. Not for 1 second do I believe that. That's garbage. I don't believe that. There's more to it than that. Do you watch any UFC? I do indeed. And I have had a couple of fights. I've had a fighter on here before. It was an MMA fighter. So I do watch UFC. And I do enjoy watching it, to be fair. At the moment, you'd have to call me a casual because I'm only watching the big fights. But I know the fighters, well, MMA, you know, the crossovers, John Jones, and his fight with a guy called, what's it, Cornier? Is it John Jones? Cornier? I don't know. I'll embarrass myself here. I do watch UFC. I do enjoy UFC. I have to say that a night of boxing and a night of UFC They're now getting hand in hand now. In fact, I like the way the UFC presents their stuff. Who are your favorite MMA fighters? I can't tell you my favorite fighters. I know guys, the people I watch. I think Conor McGregor is highly overrated, really overrated. I saw the first fight when he got hit in the chin, and as soon as he got hit in the chin, he crumbled. I think he's very overrated. Nick Diaz. I like John Jones. I like Alexander Silva. What's his guy's name? Guy from the UK. Can't remember the guy from the UK. He's a light heavyweight. I saw him the other day as well. I can't remember the guy's name either. There's a few of them around. Yeah. No, not Alex Reed. Absolutely not Alex Reed. The other guy. Not Alex Reed. Bisping. That's it. Bisping. So yeah, I hate to say it, boxing fans, but that's just what it is. I like the excitement. I do like the excitement. I like to see fighters fighting one another. Don't forget the records. People lose fights to come back and fight it. Look at Ronda Rousey. She's out for how long? Then she's come back to fight the #1 champion in the division. I think that's amazing. Bisping, yes, it. Simulation says he was going to fight Cormier, but got popped by USADA. I did see that. That was quite sad. The difference with UFC is that everyone loses at some point. No padding and beating records. I agree. Totally agree with you. So the best fighting the best. To be fair, Alex Reed, not that great, but very tough dude. Yeah. So, look, the other day, there's a girl, Jelena. I interviewed her last week. Female fighter, 8-time world champion. 8-time world champion. Right? She got about 5 or 6 losses on the record. The best fighting the best. So, lots of credit for that. Moving up in weight, fighting it. You know what I mean? So, if it can happen with the women, it can happen with the men. But promoters, management, little BS, don't know. But we do know Stavern Povetkin are fighting, unless Eddie Hearn comes up with some fantastic amount of money to offer to Stavern to fight Joshua. I don't think so. Yeah, a bad boss says if UFC was like, if boxing like UFC would have Kelowna GGG already, we would have done. Ward versus Kovalev would have been done already. Stevenson versus Kovalev would have been done already. By the way, James Gale has confirmed he will be fighting the unification match against Badou Jack. Good. And I don't anybody talks about Callum Smith until he fights a puncher or somebody in the top 5, top 3, top 5. I don't hear about Callum Smith either. That's another thing. His name's banned on this channel. Damien McDirt says, would be great if the likes of WBC made the top contenders fight each other to determine the #1 contender. I agree with you. Too worried about losing the it's too bad because it's expense of the overall health of the sport. Those ones that should be having trilogy fights. True. How about this? Yeah, Luke Blacklish for Callum Smith. I don't want to hear about Callum. Until he fights someone in the top 5, I don't want to hear about it. Don't tell me he's well rated and he's fighting people that are not even in the top 20. I don't want to hear about Callum Smith. Don't want to hear about Callum Smith. Garbage. Don't want to hear about it. Garbage. Listen, this guy's a good fighter. Why doesn't he fight something decent? Who has he fought to be #1 ranked, please? Pure garbage. Pure garbage. Sorry. But it's a Sky hype train. I watched that train fall completely apart. Sorry. I just got to be honest. Yeah. So, any other? Let me know if I've got any thoughts about anything else. I think Groves beat Smith. I think, yeah. I'm not a. I like George Groves, but he has a place for me. George Groves has a place for me, and it's not top 5 in the world. It really isn't. And the other fight, I cannot believe we're going to watch this again. I cannot believe it. After Abraham, Martin Murray too. I mean, what? I mean, whoever made that thick, whoever made that. Martin Murray after Abraham too. As if the first fight wasn't terrible. Wilder versus White. What's my prediction? I go at this point. I go with Deontay Wilder. I go with Deontay Wilder. Klitschko pulls out a fight of Joshua. What a coward! Well, that's what it would seem like, but based on the Stavern thing with Eddie Hearn, Stavern said, "Don't tell me that I pull out of fights." So, I've had a blast of people here. Mixmaster Dodger says Smith's a decent prospect. His downfall will be Joe Gallagher's one-dimensional tactics. I think I said that before. Together versus Jack for Unified Championship shows how crap the Super vision is. That's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh. Come on. Together fought Butte, fought Durrell, and fought Porky. I mean, they're world-rated fighters. And then who did he fight before that to become champion? I mean, Degal's done well. How many more world title fights does Martin Murray want? What a fuss. Murray is bridesmaid. Martin Murray is the new Matthew Mackley. Ting. See the problem. This is the problem. Now they're gonna spin it so it looks like Vlad is ducking and Joshua ducks nobody. There you go. Good. I'm glad. Murray will earn at least another 5 or 6 world title shots. He will do. Maybe one day he'll win a world title. I don't know. It's sickening. It's sickening. It tells you something. And why would you go and pay good money to go watch Martin Murray versus bloody flipping after Abraham? That is somebody. Instead of fighting Luke Blackledge, right? Callum Smith, go fight after Abraham. Do that. But you won't do that, will you? Joshua fight David Price next. Unreal. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. You know, how will it be painted? You know, we were in the negotiating table with Klitschko, but you know, him and his people really didn't want it. If they make the belts the issue, so he went ahead and fought David Price. Why not? Callum Smith and Nathan Cleverly would be a good matchup. Yeah, that'd be a good fight. Yeah, congratulations, Nathan Cleverly. Yeah, Nathan Cleverly. While I'm at it, want you guys to check out a guy called Marcus the Great Williams. All right, he's on the YouTube channel. He's on my channel at the moment. Check him out. He's tall like Thomas Hearns. Left jab, the right hand. I like him a lot. Check him out. Thoughts on Tepper off the juice losing? What can I tell you? What? Callum Smith would do Cleverly easily? I don't think so, mate. The way Levitt says, I would wish Frank Bruno was about Ingram. He'd beat AJ and all these top contenders. I'd bring back Gary Mason. I loved Gary Mason. I'd love to see Mason back again. Tepper. We've done quite a lot of those fighters. Thoughts on Tepper off the juicing? Losing? I don't know. Daily, Arthur Daly, where's your boy Fury? LOL. You're batting for the losing side. No pun intended. Where's my boy Fury? Well, still the #1 heavyweight in the world, as far as I'm concerned, until he gets beaten in the ring by somebody else. Haye beats Tepper after Tepper beat Price, and Duhapper's further validates Fury's resume, in my opinion. Agreed. Aside from Price, they might get someone like Bryant Jennings who hasn't fought for a year. Yeah, that's about right. I'm trying to contact Bryant. I'll have a word with him and see how he's doing. But Bryant's shrewd. I hope he doesn't take any silly fights now. Jennings, if Vlad Klitschko, I champion boxing. Good evening. Hope you're well. If AJ Vlad is off, do you think that means Parker Ruiz is off as Vlad is number 2, Ruiz is number 3? Good question. You know what? I don't know. What I do know, at this minute in time is that the heavyweight division is a shambles, an absolute shambles. We kind of had some idea what was going on before. We had Fury, who was the champion. Vlad was the number 1 contender, and everyone recognized Vlad as the man until Fury beat him. We had Deontay Wilder out on the left, which was the WBC championship. So we said, all right, fine. And we had Joshua, who was the IBF champion, but we all knew that the belt came from, was stripped off of Tyson. So he was just a belt holder, Joshua. And he had the whole WBA situation over here, which is really a regular belt, not really the real belt. So we put that to one side. So it was really the WBC belt, which was really the prestigious belt, and the IBF. So for me, it's made a mockery now. Because at least before we had some idea, the unified champion, we had an idea of who the man was. The only thing we all dispute was, is it Wilder? Can Wilder beat Fury? That's what I did. It wasn't Joshua, because Joshua was just a title holder. Joshua would never have that belt if they didn't strip the IBF. The IBF didn't strip Tyson. And Tyson got stripped, remember, for wanting to fight the number 1 guy in the division. So that tells you something about the state of boxing. When the number 1 guy in the world gets beat by the challenger becomes the champion, and then the number 1 guy, the new number 1, is not allowed to fight the old number 1 and gets stripped 2 weeks after him deciding to fight him. That's a mockery. That's how boxing is at the moment. 18 fights, 18 KOs. Joshua the man, no one out there to beat him. Somebody educate Matthew, good please. YouTube. If Klitsch is so confident to beat Joshua for IBF, then Parker Ortiz next for WO and become undisputed with Wilder fight for WBC. You see, what Wilder needs to do is come back, right, and fight somebody in the top 5. He needs to wipe out somebody in the top 5. So when Wilder comes back, who does he fight? I champion boxing is very true. I reckon now Wilder is the most legitimate champion, but he's out till next year. I think if Vlad wants WBA, he should fight Ortiz for it. Good point. Duhappas got robbed against Tepper. Did he? I didn't see the fight. Yeah, that's true, Joe. So those are my thoughts. The heavyweight division is a mockery. The UFC is doing some damn good stuff at the moment. And I will be talking to the insider hopefully tomorrow. And as soon as it is up, it'll be on BaylorIC. Check out those interviews, those fighters, the fights that we had on the show, on the channel, and the news, views, interviews. And we'll be back tomorrow night, regular time, 11 p.m. where we'll be talking to Chantel Cameron. We'll be talking to Bo from Truth and Facts Boxing, our US correspondent. We'll have Emily Pandelakis back, talking USA boxing. We'll be just talking and catching up and seeing what's what. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I'm not going to overcook this. So it's just a catch-up show. Tomorrow, Wilder got KO power, but he's not too much boxing skill. He's a swinger with great power. BaylorIC, I educate you anytime you want. Great. Joshua, 18 fights. I Ballistic Cat says, Haye will get knocked out by AJ big time. Great. England, great interview with Asghar last week. Yeah, by the way, when you get a chance, 2 interviews I really want you to watch. In particular, check out the interview with Asghar. He talks about Klitschko in the dressing room. Check that out. Yes. Bellew carries power. And we do exclusives. I just wanted to do that. Right, I'm out here. Take care, everyone. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 p.m.